I've got a spread that works both for general readings as well as specific situations when you really need some advice. I didn't create this spread, and unfortunately I can't quite remember who I got it from, but I really think it might have been Kellyanne Maddox. I call this Advice from the Queens. You can also do this spread with kings or knights or pages or just 4 major arcana cards, but the point is you are turning to a council of mentors to get some advice from them. Whoever you set up as your counsel, you're going to do the reading from their perspective. And that is really the power of this reading. I think it gets you out of your own way of looking at things, and it helps you to turn to some other people, other archetypes to find a new way to look at things in your life. So if we're turning to the Queens, I read Queens as focused on the inner world, focused on relationship, and that could be relationship like work colleagues, friends, lovers, family, your relationship to yourself. I even read this sometimes as your relationship to other things in your life, not just other people in your life. So for example, your relationship to your own anger, your relationship to your own power. I think the Queens come in there because it's, for me, about kind of developing yourself, these more intimate relationships, and you're included as one of your intimate relationships. Queens are often seen as sort of the rulers of the private world, where we're thinking specifically around self and family and intimate relationships. They're of course not limited to that. Any personal work we do on ourselves ripples out into the world, but that is often how we see the Queens. So when we turn to the Queens, we're often getting advice about our personal world, our personal life, our view of ourselves, our relationships in our lives. That's kind of the area where they would be most focused on. So when we do the reading, we're going to be putting ourselves in the position of each of these Queens to talk to us about those realms of life. Kate Van Horn talks about the Queens as holding space, and the space they hold for us is influenced by their element. Similar to how we're going to read if we're reading on, personal relationships or self-development, each of these Queens has a specific area of life, a specific element that is their realm. So back to Kate Van Horn and holding space. The Queen of Pentacles holds space through physical safety. She is very present, she's calm, and people feel very safe when they're around her. She teaches us about stability, about worth, about self-worth. The Queen of Cups is holding space for emotion, for softness, for intuition, for creativity. The Queen of Swords holds space for intellectual freedom. She holds space for critical thinking, for boundaries, for personal power. And the Queen of Wands holds space for you to be your unique self. She is all about authenticity, and she holds space for your passions, your hobbies. No matter what kind of nerd you want to be, she is there for you. She's also really unafraid of discomfort. She's, into burning things up and moving forward. Now that we know who we are asking for advice, let me walk you through how this reading goes. So you can either do your reading with one deck of cards, so you pull the Queens from that deck and then you finish the reading with the rest of the deck and it has no Queens in it. Because I have more than one deck in my possession, I actually like to do this reading with a second deck, only because I think it's kind of amazing if, like, the Queen of Pentacles advice is the Queen of Pentacles if I pull that card. If that were the case, I think I would read it as like to embody that energy. But basically what you do is these Queens are spread positions, and then you pull additional cards asking them for their advice, and you read that card as the advice that that particular Queen is giving you. Let's do an example. For the first example, let's do a specific situation where the Queens are going to offer us some advice. Like I said before, you can do specific situations or general readings. We'll start with a specific situation. We're going to come to the queens with a question that they would be particularly good at answering. And so our specific situation is, I've started a new job and I'm really struggling to find my place there. I'm struggling with finding colleagues to get along with. I'm not really connecting with my manager. I'm starting to lose some self-confidence. And I could just really use some advice on what to do. So we shuffle our deck and we're going to pull a card for each of these queens to give us advice. So pull a card for Queen of Pentacles, one for Swords, Wands, and Cups. And of course, you can lay these queens out in any order you want. Do whatever makes sense for you. So the advice from the Queen of Pentacles with this situation is Two of Wands. Remember that the Queen of Pentacles is really focused on your physical well-being. And so seeing Two of Wands, I think she wants you to just back off, slow down, step outside of the situation, take your time, look around and make some plans about it. But you don't need to take action anymore. You don't need to take action right now. Let things take their time. Let it be slow. It's okay to be uncomfortable when you start something new. Let's see what the Queen of Swords has to say. Her advice to you is Page of Cups. Now, because we are coming at this card from the perspective of the Queen of Swords, this is going to be about something like your intellect, your boundaries around justice and fairness and standing up for yourself. So very interesting card. I kind of see the Page of Cups as rather opposite of the Queen of Swords. So she is asking you to not be quite so naive, to not be quite so open, that your openness may put you in a situation where you are not, like you're trusting the wrong people. So she is warning you to let it take time so that you're not falling in with people at work who are actually going to be a problem for you. Queen of Wands advice to you, we've pulled the Seven of Pentacles. So Queen of Wands, though she is very powerful and fiery and really wants you to get out there and be big, she is asking you to be patient. Her advice to you is to read the room. Take your time, see what's the culture of this new place, and not be rushing so quickly into trying to fit in. Stand back, stay yourself, don't change in order to fit in. See what's really up at this new place and take your time. And the Queen of Cups is asking you, her advice to you is about the Magician. And of course, Queen of Cups, this is the realm of emotion, intuition, relationships. And she is asking you to hold on to your worth, to hold on to your power, that you are not giving up power by taking your time and seeing what the situation really is, to focus more on your relationship to yourself right now than your relationship to your work and the people at work. Stand back. Everybody seems to have the same advice. Stop rushing in. Stop being so open. Hold on to your power and you'll find your way. Let's look how this would work in a general reading where you don't have a specific question. I really like this reading as a general reading because I think it gives you some solid advice for different areas of your life. So the kind of change I make, the tweak I make in a general reading is that I'm just going to have these queens give you advice in the area of life where they are the most comfortable, where they are the queen. So Queen of Pentacles advice will be about your material world. Queen of Swords will be about your intellectual world. Queen of Wands will be about your passions and your creative world. And Queen of Cups will be about your more intimate relationships, about love, about your intuition. So same thing as last time, just, shuffle your deck however you normally do that. And then we pull our cards for advice from each of the queens. Queen of Pentacles advice is Eight of Cups. So within this realm of your health, your wealth, your home, what do you need to walk away from? What are you doing that's a bad habit that is not helping you to nurture yourself? She wants you to give that thing up and walk away from it so you can spend more time on your own personal care. Queen of Swords, wants you to own your competence. You are giving up some of your own accolades. You're making yourself small. You're putting off compliments and not taking the appreciation that you really deserve. And she is sick and tired of you doing that. Queen of Wands. 8 of Wands, fascinating. So in your creative life, she just wants you to get a move on. Stop second guessing yourself. Trust yourself. Move forward. That dream you've had in mind, just go. Stop putting the brakes on. And Queen of Cups got the Empress. Amazing. I'm going to read this as self-love because the Empress is one of my self-love significator cards. So I would say Queen of Cups coming in, and this is about loving yourself. This could also be about embracing your sensuality, your sexuality, and your creativity. Something new, something fresh, but it's also about you being like completely in charge of yourself, absolutely sovereign, and to embrace that. And that is advice from the Queens. I should mention that I do this reading for other people. There's a link in my bio if you'd like a personal reading with me. You can only find them at that link. I will never jump into a comment section offering readings to people. I don't do readings through DMs or WhatsApp or whatever else people are saying out there. There's only one place to get readings from me. It's at the link in my bio. It's on my Etsy. I would love to know if you tried this reading for yourself. And let me know if you'd like me to show examples of how advice from the Kings or advice from the Pages or Knights might go, because it is a different reading. Like if you liked the video, subscribe for more tarot content, and thanks for stopping by.